Folks, a little bit more information here on Chapter 4. There were some questions about this. Let me just take a couple minutes and go through this. So number one, use a data call for the bar chart in Problem 1, Chapter 3. So if I go back here, this was to come up with the counts by marital status. So if I go back to the data here and let's see, insert a pivot table. I think that looks like the range. Let's put it in a new worksheet. And then let's see, marital status. We want that in the rows. And then if we have it in the values. And so the first, let's see, for Chapter 3, well, I'm sorry, for Chapter 3, what we would have done was just put together a bar chart of the counts. What I'm looking for in Chapter 4 is to simply convert the counts to relative frequency. So I think probably the easiest thing to do is just copy this. And then what you're going to have here is just going to have the percentage. So 156 out of the total 425. Sorry about that, 425. And then 36 out of 425. And then 233 out of 425. And then very simply just put in another bar chart, but notice now what you have on the vertical column is you're measuring relative frequency versus the counts. So that would answer Chapter 4, Problem 1. The second histogram for months employed. Let me just grab this data. We'll put it in another sheet so we're not fighting with all the other data. And let's just make sure all this data is highlighted. A lot of data here. And then if you just go up to Insert and notice here under the Automate second button down, you've got some statistical options here in a histogram. Let's see, this looks like it's got pretty good fidelity. It's very clear that this has skewness to the right. If you wanted to adjust the number of bins, just click on this horizontal axis, and then over here you'll get the options. Typically the number of bins is what you would want to play around with. I don't know that you would get any better fidelity if you went to 10 bins. It's still showing pretty good skewness. Typically what I would say is if you look at the number of observations you have, in this case we've got about 400. If you take the square root of 400, anything between 20 bins, 20 being the square root of 400 would be a large number of bins. But I think here with 10 bins, even 8 to 10 bins would show you very clearly that you have skewness to the right. So that would be adequate for, let's see, Chapter 4, Question 2. And then use the data analysis menu, descriptive statistics for the months employed. I think that's the sheet we just had here. So we can get rid of this. And let's go back up to the top. Let's just go to the data analysis tab first. So data analysis, descriptive statistics. Let me just scroll and make sure I've got the right data here. And then if I go to the template here, it's in a column. I can put the output. We'll put it here. Now, here's where you want to make sure that you're asking Excel for the right things here. So you definitely want to make sure I believe we included the tag here. So make sure you put labels in the first row so it knows not to try to compute months employed. The output range is where you want to show the summary statistics. And down here again, this kth largest and kth smallest. Since we have 425 values, if you take 425 and you divide it by 4, that comes up to just about 106. So what the 106th smallest data or element in the data would be the 25th percentile. And then if you look, if you start at the largest value and you work backwards and you go 106 values, that will be the 75th percentile. So to answer the percentile questions, the 106 smallest, 106 largest, whatever those values come up to be, would give you the 25th for the smallest and 75th for the largest, respectively, percentiles. If you hit OK, let's see, of course, the mean, standard deviation, the median, of course, is going to be the 50th percentile. But all the information you need here to address question, I believe it's 4.3, yeah, will be right here in this output from Excel. And then, let's see, finally, using, months employed and age. So let's just get that data, months employed. And we'll just put it on a new sheet here. So again, we're not months employed and age. Let me make sure I've got these in the right order. Yes, months employed on the horizontal age, and then, I'm sorry, months employed on the horizontal and then age on the vertical. So then if we just go back to this sheet, and again, all you have to do is, very nice, just highlight the data. Actually, let me just make sure I've got data here so I'm not confusing this. And then go up to insert, and then right below the histogram, you've got your scatter plot. And that will be adequate for the scatter plot. And then the correlation, again, if we go down here, remember the Excel function CORREL, and that again returns the correlation coefficient between two data sets. And just make sure again that the input here is going to be each variable. So the first array, make sure I get the correct data here. So that is effectively the X variable, and then array 2. And it looks like we've got a correlation coefficient here. Let me just blow that up a little bit for you. Looks like we've got a correlation coefficient here of about 0.31. Just quickly on the interpretation of that, if we were to draw the line of best fit through here, what we're saying is we would expect to see the line would rise from left to right because the correlation coefficient is positive. 0.3, in terms of your judgment, that is, it's not bad, it's not great. I would say it's moderate correlation between the variables. So I hope this is a little bit more detail. If you had some trouble with these last couple questions here on Chapter 4, I hope this is helpful. Thanks a lot and have a great day.